Aloha, and welcome to Hawaii Travel Made Easy. I'm Marcie, your go-to guide for planning a stress-free, unforgettable Hawaii vacation. If this is your first time listening, welcome! I've been to Hawaii more than 40 times, and I love helping families and first-time visitors make the most of their trip. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most famous landmarks on Oahu, Diamond Head Crater. This is the most popular hike on the island, and for good reason. It's relatively short, offers incredible panoramic views of Waikiki, and lets you say you hiked up a volcano. But there are some important things to know before you go, like how to get there, how to book a reservation, what to pack, when to go, and the biggest mistakes tourists make. So, if you're planning to hike Diamond Head on your trip, stick around. Before we jump into the logistics, let's take a moment to appreciate the history and significance of Diamond Head. So why is it called Diamond Head? Well, early Western explorers mistook calcite crystals in the rocks for diamonds. Spoiler alert, they were wrong. What's the Hawaiian name and the meaning? The crater's name is Le'ahi, which means brow of the tuna, due to its resemblance to a tuna's dorsal fin. Military history. This crater was a strategic military lookout and bunker site, which is why you'll see remnants of old military structures along the trail. This iconic volcanic cone was formed 300,000 years ago and is now dormant. And there's also cultural significance. Ancient Hawaiians used the summit of Le'ahi for navigational purposes, and the crater itself was considered a sacred place. Today, it remains a symbol of Oahu's natural beauty and resilience. Diamond Head became a popular hiking destination in the 20th century, especially after the completion of the trail in 1911 for military use. Today, it's one of the most visited sites in Hawaii. Despite its dry, rocky terrain, Diamond Head is home to native Hawaiian plants and wildlife, including the Ilima flower, which is Oahu's official flower. Due to its historical and geological importance, there have been discussions about preserving Diamond Head as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but there's no status update on that. And many locals and visitors alike make it a tradition to hike Diamond Head on their trips to Oahu, often pairing it with sunrise views over Waikiki. Now that you have a deeper appreciation for Diamond Head's history, let's get into the logistics of getting there. All right, first things first. How do you actually get to Diamond Head from Waikiki? If you want to drive yourself, it's only a 10 to 15 minute drive from Waikiki. Parking costs $10 per vehicle and must be reserved in advance. This is super important. My pro tip is that parking fills up fast. If you're driving, book an early morning slot. And if the main parking lot is full, you could consider using overflow parking near Kapiolani Community College and walking in, but that's not my top recommendation. The drive along Diamond Head Road offers beautiful coastal views, making it a scenic trip even before your hike. But there's also the option to take the bus. You can take bus number 2 or number 23 from Waikiki. You'll get off at Diamond Head Road near 18th Avenue, and then walk about 10 to 15 minutes to the trailhead. The fare is $3 per ride or $5.50 for a day pass. If you're traveling with a group, the bus may be a more budget-friendly option than Uber or Lyft. The walk from the bus stop to the entrance is slightly uphill, but it's manageable for most. You can also take the Waikiki trolley, that's the green line. It stops right at the crater entrance. This is a great option if you want an easy and scenic ride. Tickets are available as part of a hop-on, hop-off package, making it a good choice for those exploring multiple attractions in one day. We've done the Waikiki trolley multiple times, and it is such a fun way to explore Oahu. You can also use Uber or Lyft. It costs about $9 to $11 one way from Waikiki. Drop-off is close to the entrance, but pickup can be tricky if it's crowded. Drivers sometimes have trouble navigating the parking lot, so be prepared to walk a bit for pickup. If you're visiting during peak hours, plan for potential wait times when requesting a ride back to Waikiki. And finally, you can bike to Diamond Head. For super active travelers, you could rent a bike from Waikiki and bike to the entrance. The ride is mostly flat, but there is a slight incline near the entrance. Bike racks are available near the entrance if you want to lock up before your hike. So my pro tip is if you don't want to deal with parking or waiting for a bus, Uber or the Waikiki trolley is the easiest option. Now that you know how to get there, let's talk about the reservation system and entry fees. So, do you want a reservation to hike Diamond Head? Yes. All non-Hawaii residents must book online in advance. The entry fee is $5 per person for people ages 4 and older, and the parking fee is $10 per vehicle. How do you reserve it? I'm going to link it down in the show notes, but you're going to want to go to gostateparks.hawaii.gov and book your time slot. Reservations are required for both walk-ins and vehicles, so plan ahead. These time slots fill up quickly, especially for early morning and weekend hikes. Hawaii residents with a valid state ID can enter for free, but still need to reserve a time. Tickets can be booked up to 14 days in advance, so check availability early, and I would even set an alarm. If you miss your reserved time slot, you may not be allowed entry, so arrive on time. Walk-up reservations are not available, so don't assume you can show up and get in. So my pro tip is that early morning slots, like 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., are the best to avoid the heat and crowds. Now that you know how to get there and secure your spot, let's talk about what to expect on the trail itself. Before heading out, it's good to know what to expect on the Diamond Head hike. So the trail length is about 1.6 miles round trip. It's an out and back trail. The elevation gain is about 560 feet, and it's mostly uphill. So how long does it take? Well, it can take 45 to 60 minutes to climb up and about 30 minutes down, plus however long you want to spend on the summit. What can you expect on the trail? Well, there's paved sections, dirt paths, switchbacks, a tunnel, and steep stairs. And who can hike it? It is suitable for beginners, but expect a workout. While this hike is considered beginner-friendly, don't underestimate it, especially if you're not used to hiking in hot, humid weather. The first part of the trail is paved and relatively easy, but as you ascend, you'll encounter rocky paths, uneven terrain, and a series of switchbacks that will definitely get your heart pumping. One of the most challenging parts of the hike is the set of 99 steep stairs near the top, followed by a dark tunnel you'll need to walk through before reaching the summit. If you're even slightly claustrophobic, be prepared for the tunnel. It's narrow, dimly lit, and can get congested with hikers going both ways. Many visitors say the last 10 to 15 minutes of the hike are the hardest, but the reward is an unbeatable panoramic view of Waikiki, Honolulu, and the Pacific Ocean. The climb is worth every step. From personal experience, this hike can feel much harder on a hot, sunny day, so if you're hiking mid-morning or later, take frequent water breaks and pace yourself. There are benches along the way, too. But what's the best part? Once you reach the top, the cooling ocean breeze makes all the effort feel worth it. It's the perfect moment to take a deep breath, snap some photos, and soak in the incredible scenery. For families with kids, I'd say this hike is manageable for kids ages 5 and older, but little ones might need help on the stairs. I've seen plenty of kids happily hiking, but also some struggling toward the end, so plan extra time if you have younger hikers. If you have knee issues or mobility concerns, the uneven steps and steep incline may be tough, especially on the way down. Trekking poles can help, but if you're worried, consider a less intense scenic hike like the Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail, which is paved the entire way and offers gorgeous coastal views. One last tip. If you're hiking for sunrise, bring a flashlight or headlamp since the trail will still be dark. It makes the early morning wake-up totally worth it. Speaking of timing, let's go over the best times to hike Diamond Head so you can avoid the crowds and make the most of your experience. If you want to beat the crowds and the heat, go early in the morning. I cannot stress this enough. I think the best time to go is for a sunrise hike. That's like 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. You'll get cooler temps, fewer crowds, and amazing morning light. Another option is late afternoon, anywhere between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. This is a quieter option if you don't mind the afternoon sun. Definitely avoid midday. It's hot, crowded, and there's little shade. So my pro tip is to go early as possible. Hiking in the Hawaiian sun is no joke. Many visitors say that arriving before 7 a.m. makes a huge difference, not only in temperature, but also in the overall experience. If you hike later in the morning, you'll be battling the sun, heat, and long lines of people moving up and down the trail. I once made the mistake of hiking at 10 a.m. and it was rough. The sun was intense, and the last part of the hike felt like an uphill oven. Sunrise hikes are by far the most popular choice because the lighting over Waikiki is absolutely breathtaking. The sky changes from deep purples and oranges to a golden glow over the ocean, creating some of the best photo opportunities. However, this means the earliest time slots sell out quickly, so book your reservation as soon as possible. Definitely set yourself an alarm. If you're not a morning person, the late afternoon can be another great option. The trail is quieter, and while the sun is still strong, it's not as brutal as midday. However, keep in mind that the park closes at 6 p.m., so you'll need to start your hike no later than 4:30 p.m. to make it up and back in time. One thing I've noticed from multiple hikes is that weekdays are much less crowded than weekends. If you have flexibility in your itinerary, go on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning to avoid both locals and tourists trying to squeeze in their weekend hikes. Lastly, if you're hiking at sunrise or sunset, don't forget a flashlight or headlamp, especially for the tunnel portion of the trail. I learned this the hard way one morning when my phone flashlight was nearly dead. Walking through the dark tunnel without light is not fun. Bottom line, the earlier, the better. You'll enjoy the best weather, fewer crowds, and a more pleasant hike overall. Now, you may be wondering, is Diamond Head even worth it? Let's talk about who will love this hike and who might want to skip it. So, is this hike worth your time? For most visitors, absolutely. So who will love it? Well, first-time visitors, families, photographers, and those looking for an iconic Oahu experience. So who might want to skip it? Well, that would be those who dislike crowds, struggle with steep inclines, or want a shaded hike. Even though I've hiked Diamond Head multiple times, I still think it's one of the must-do experiences, especially if it's your first time on Oahu. The view from the summit is unlike any other. You'll get a breathtaking panoramic view of Waikiki, the Pacific Ocean, and the lush green mountains in the background. Every time I reach the top, it's just as stunning as the first time. That said, it is not a peaceful, secluded hike. It's one of the most popular tourist spots on the island, so expect crowds, a steady stream of people, and a bit of a bottleneck at the final staircase. If you don't like being surrounded by other hikers, this might not be the hike for you. On one of my visits, I had to wait in line just to take a photo at the summit because there were so many people. If you're traveling with kids, seniors, or beginner hikers, this trail is a great option because it's relatively short and easy to complete. I've seen toddlers make it up with some help from parents, and I've also seen grandparents enjoying the hike at their own pace. The key is taking plenty of breaks, especially near the switchbacks and stairs. But if you're looking for a less crowded or a more challenging alternative, here are some hikes you might prefer. There is Cocoa Head Crater Trail. This is a steep 1,048-step climb up an old railway track, offering an epic 360-degree view. This is much, much harder than Diamond Head, but it's an awesome workout if you think you're up for it. There's also the Lanikai Pillbox hike. This is a moderate hike with stunning ocean views and fewer people. Plus, you can relax at Lanikai Beach afterwards. And there's the Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail. This is a paved, stroller-friendly hike with gorgeous coastline views and a chance to see whales in the winter months. Even though there are other great hikes on Oahu, Diamond Head is still the most iconic. If this is your first time visiting, I think it's 100% worth it. Just go early, bring water, and be patient with the crowds. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share some fun facts about Diamond Head that you might not know. Number 1, the famous spiral staircase near the top has 99 steps, a mini challenge before the summit. Number 2, the lookout bunkers were built in the early 1900s for coastal defense. Number 3, the Hawaii State Quarter, which was released in 2008, features Diamond Head in its design. Number 4, more than 1 million people hike Diamond Head each year, making it one of Hawaii's busiest trails. And number 5, on a clear day, you can spot Molokai and Maui from the summit. Now that we've covered some fun trivia, let's talk about what you should bring to make your hike as enjoyable and comfortable as possible. So even though this hike is short, you'll still need to pack smart. Some of the essentials include water. There are no refill stations on the trail, and it gets hot fast. So bring at least 1 liter per person. You'll thank yourself later. You'll also want sunscreen, a hat, and sunglasses. There's zero shade, and the sun reflects off the rocky terrain, making it feel even hotter. You'll also want comfortable walking shoes. Flip-flops are not a good idea. The path is uneven in places, and you'll need sturdy shoes, especially for the stairs. You'll also want light snacks, like an energy bar. If you're hiking early, you might want a little fuel for the trek up. You'll also want a camera or a phone for those amazing summit views. You'll want to capture that iconic Waikiki panorama. And so my pro tip is that there's a tunnel and steep stairs near the top, so be prepared for a little extra challenge at the final stretch. If you're hiking at sunrise, a light jacket might be helpful since the early morning air can be cool, especially in the winter months. But don't worry, it doesn't take long to warm up. Since the parking lot and entrance area have restrooms, you might want to use them before starting the hike. Another good item to bring is a cooling towel or handheld fan. The heat can be intense, especially in the later morning or afternoon. I've used a cooling towel on this hike before, and it made such a difference in keeping me comfortable. Lastly, a small backpack or a waist pack is helpful to keep your hands free while hiking, especially for the stairs. You don't want to be juggling a water bottle and phone while climbing up. Now that you're prepared for the hike, let's talk about the best spots to grab a bite before or after your adventure. After hiking, you'll definitely want to grab some food. Whether you're looking for a quick bite before you hit the trail or a satisfying meal after conquering Diamond Head, there are plenty of great options nearby. So before the hike, there's Bogart's Cafe. It's a cozy breakfast spot just 5 minutes from Diamond Head, famous for its acai bowls, omelets, and fried rice plates. It's a great place to fuel up before your hike. There's also Diamond Head Market and Grill. This is my favorite. It's located about 2 minutes from the trailhead. This spot is best known for its blueberry cream cheese scones and hearty breakfast plates. It's a local favorite, and you might see a line, but it moves quickly. And then after your hike, there's Pioneer Saloon. This is a fantastic Japanese-Hawaiian fusion plate lunch spot about 5 minutes away in the Montserrat Avenue area. You can try their garlic shrimp, mochiko chicken, or loco moco for a satisfying post-hike meal. There's also the KCC Farmers Market. This is only on Saturdays. Located right across from Diamond Head, this popular farmers market is an awesome place to grab fresh fruit, poke bowls, malasadas, and other island treats. It's only open on Saturday mornings, so if your hike falls on a weekend, definitely check it out. There's also Leonard's Bakery. It's a short 7-minute drive away, and this is where you can grab Hawaii's most famous malasadas. If you're craving something sweet after your hike, a warm, sugary malasada is the perfect treat. There's also Rainbow Drive-In. About 6 minutes from Diamond Head, this iconic spot serves classic Hawaiian plate lunches. Including beef stew, chili, and their famous mixed plate. If you want a no-frills, affordable meal, this is a great option. There's also Tucker and Bevy Picnic Food. Just 3 minutes from the trail, this place specializes in grab-and-go sandwiches, wraps, and fresh juices, making it perfect for a quick post-hike refresh. So, my pro tip is if you want a classic Hawaiian breakfast, try Diamond Head Market and Grill for something sweet, or Bogart's Cafe for a hearty meal before hitting the trail. Now that you know where to refuel, let's go over the biggest mistakes tourists make when hiking Diamond Head so you can avoid them. Even though Diamond Head is one of the most popular hikes on Oahu, many tourists still make mistakes that can turn an enjoyable experience into a frustrating one. Let's go over the most common ones so you can avoid them. Mistake number 1 is not booking a reservation. No ticket, no hike. The biggest mistake people make is assuming they can just show up and start hiking. Reservations are required for all non-Hawaii residents, and if you don't book online in advance, you'll be turned away at the entrance. Many people have arrived at the park expecting to buy tickets at the gate, only to be disappointed. Don't let that be you. Mistake number 2, hiking at midday. It is too hot and too crowded. The midday sun in Hawaii is intense, and with very little shade on the trail, it can feel much hotter than the actual temperature. The crowds also peak between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., making the trail feel congested. If you're hiking later in the day, prepare for a slow, hot trek up the crater. Mistake number 3, wearing flip-flops. The trail is rocky and uneven, and it's a bad idea. Even though it's a short hike, the terrain includes steep inclines, uneven paths, loose gravel, and narrow staircases. Wearing slippers, what we call flip-flops in Hawaii, can increase your risk of slipping or stubbing your toe on the rough ground. Stick to comfortable sneakers, hiking sandals with a grip, or light hiking shoes. Mistake number 4, not bringing enough water. The Hawaii sun is no joke. You'll be sweating on this hike. There are no refill stations once you start, so if you only bring a small bottle, you might regret it halfway up. The humidity and elevation gain can make you feel dehydrated faster than you expect, so I'd aim for 1 liter of water per person. Mistake number 5, ignoring park rules. Stay on the trail and don't climb the bunkers. Some hikers ignore signs and venture off the designated path to take photos or explore restricted areas. This is not only dangerous, but also damages the fragile environment of Diamond Head. The bunkers at the summit are not meant for climbing, yet many tourists try to scale them for a better view. Rangers actively patrol the area, so you could be fined for trespassing or damaging historic structures. Mistake number 6, underestimating the trail. It may be short, but it's not an easy walk. Some tourists assume that because Diamond Head is such a popular hike, it must be a simple, leisurely stroll. But it's deeper than expected. The final stretch includes a dark tunnel and 99 stairs, which can be challenging if you're not prepared. Mistake number 7, bringing too much gear. Pack light. Since the hike isn't very long, you don't need to overpack with heavy bags, large cameras, or bulky jackets. A small backpack with water, sunscreen, and a camera or a phone is all you really need. If you're carrying too much, it'll feel exhausting on the uphill climb. And mistake number 8, skipping breakfast before the hike. Hiking on an empty stomach isn't fun. Some people head straight to Diamond Head without eating, thinking they'll grab food afterwards. But between the heat, elevation gain, and physical effort, you might feel dizzy or weak if you don't fuel up beforehand. So grab a small breakfast or snack before starting your hike. So my pro tip, if you're hiking with kids, seniors, or first-time hikers, take breaks as needed and go at a comfortable pace. The views are worth it, but only if you enjoy the journey. All right, that's a wrap. Now you know exactly how to hike Diamond Head Crater like a pro. You know to book your reservations early, to go in the morning to avoid heat and crowds, to pack water, sunscreen, and good shoes, and to choose a post-hike meal spot. You will be hungry. I'd love to hear from you. Are you planning to hike Diamond Head? Send me a DM on Instagram at Hawaii Travel with Kids, or visit my blog for even more tips. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe and leave a review. Mahalo for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Aloha.